All human achievement has come from an idea in someone's head. We sometimes need to be reminded about this because it's mind-blowing. And if you, like me, ever need to come up with a great idea, then tonight I'm going to share with you some techniques for coming up with amazing ideas. During my life, I have learned to turn thoughts into reality. And I used to work as a 16th century gentleman in Disney World and also in television. And now I turn my ideas into reality in the novelty gift sector. And I'm really proud and also very surprised to tell you that I've sold over 1 million units worldwide of novelty gifts. Thanks. Thank you. Here are a couple of examples. Here is my Martin Luther King. On the back it says, "I have a clean." Simple idea, got it made in China, sold very many. If you think about your life differently, then you'll act differently. So if you think of your life as an experiment, as I do, then you never actually fail. So let's talk about the first technique that I use and that you might like to use for coming up with a great idea. It's a cheat. Take something already existing and just change it slightly and you've got a new idea. People have been doing this for centuries. And I did it in Marks and Spencer's. So I thought, okay, I can twist that. So I got a factory in Taiwan, I partnered with a company, and I made different ones. This is lost count. Then I did 21 again. There they are on the cake. And these are my best sellers. This is your old. And they sold 250,000 units worldwide and really took me by surprise. I did it again in my life when I thought about the concept of glasses, and I released these, which are my hide your identity specs. And what you do is you pop them on, and when you have a photo, it looks like you're in the Special Forces. Thanks. So I like horses' names. Horses' names are really inspirational, actually. So I sometimes get a copy of the Racing Post. And so I was looking at these horses' names, and I saw World Series, and I was trying to think up a viral campaign at the time. And I was also looking at the Google homepage, and I thought, okay, World Series, Google, how can I combine that? So I ended up taking these two ideas, putting them together, and coming up with Google Nigeria. And as you can see there, it says, please enter your bank account number and search for inheritance. Now, I stuck it up on the net, very cheap, and it got 80,000 hits in the first 3 hours. It was incredible, really exciting. About a month later, it wasn't so exciting because I got a writ from Google. There you can see Sheridan Simove, my full name, and versus Google. I don't know which the bigger party is, but at least I took the idea, twisted it, and got it out there. I think that knowledge is no longer power. It used to be power. But now, because of the internet and this amazing time we're living in, we can find knowledge quite quickly with a couple of clicks. So therefore, knowledge is available to everyone, and it flattens its power. And now, the real power is finding connections between all those bits of knowledge, which actually is a definition of creativity. So innovation and creativity are the new power. And this is the next technique I use to come up with an idea, and I love this technique, break a rule. So I started to think, can I make my own money? So what I did, I sketched it up, and I sketched up the idea for my banknote, which I called the ego. Because if you're going to have your own banknote, you might as well refer to your healthy self-esteem. And this is the interesting and brilliant thing about humans and what you do every day. You create value that's greater than its worth. So this I got printed quite cheaply on really good quality paper on a proper printer, but then I put it on eBay to see what the market would actually value it at. And so it went on eBay, and here it is selling, and now it sells, one ego is approximately £1.52, which is a better exchange rate than the dollar and the euro. Thanks. The third technique. Look at what everyone else is doing in an industry that's not yours, and just take their idea and amalgamate it. And I saw something going on in the publishing industry which really intrigued me. And here's my next book. You could probably guess what's coming. This is What Every Man Thinks About Apart from Sex, 200 blank pages. And it started to go around the world, and I started getting emails from journalists around the world wanting to interview me, and they would write to me and say, "Dear Professor," because I put myself as Professor, even though I'm not a professor. Brilliant. Because it was linked to the net, it started to get amazing traction in a very short period of time, and it started to rocket up the Amazon charts, and it went to number 44 in the Amazon charts. And there it is below the secret, and my secret is don't put anything in your book. And so now, I've published it in Spanish. It got published around the world. Here is the Mongolian version, very odd, and the Dutch version. And I love the fact that the Dutch were deviant and didn't use my cover. I love that, brilliant. And in the end, it was 8 different territories and still counting, and it sold 80,000 copies worldwide. Thanks. Of course, I'm now working on the Kindle version. So that's it, really. I'm just going to wrap up and say those are my 3 tips for creativity and ideas. Take something and twist it, break a rule, and also take an idea from another industry. You've been absolutely amazing. Remember how brilliant your brain is. I've been Shed.